Make money, Pete. Don't be shy about making money.
Then we had Jerry Ford. Jerry Ford was a little more difficult because he had a much blander kind of face, and with a caricature, again, you need outstanding features you can capitalize on. But I didn't have too much trouble with Ford. I found that there was a way to get about it. This not only gives you all of Jerry Ford's outstanding physical characteristics, but it gives you some insight into his personality as well.
You're not nice. That's all I can say to you. You're not very nice at all.
It wasn't me. It was LBJ who said that Jerry Ford is so dumb he can't. Well, for purposes of a family TV show, we'll say what he was paraphrased to say that Jerry Ford is so dumb he can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, but that isn't exactly what LBJ said. After him, another goodie.
Oh, I can tell already. I can tell by the shaping coming up there who it's going to be. I bet he was easy to draw. I bet
Jimmy
he was
Carter.
a lovely character to get up there on the cartooning board and work over.
With the lips and
with the mouth and the teeth and the whole thing and the hair. Oh, I bet you cartoonists had a heyday on that one.
Look at these gums.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, I can see already that would be an absolutely, you know, such a snap he would be to do.
And really the whole Carter family, you know, was terrific.
Oh, yes. Billy Boy.
I remember the National Lampoon saying that they had built a new zoo in Plains, Georgia, that they found a rope and roped off the Carter family, charging admission.
Oh, we play naughty. We play
well, that's
naughty.
My job, you know.
That's right, of course it is. I realize it is. Cartoonists aren't supposed to be nice guys. That's not what their job is.
And today things, Reagan is terrific. I mean, he's basically a pretty handsome old guy.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps a little old, but a very handsome fellow.
And
but I would think he also would be a relatively easy one to draw, too, make caricatures on.
And he is. The only problem with Reagan was cartoonists found, as they initially did the correct kind of caricature of him, the realistic caricature, they were having problems when the cartoons were reduced. See, you draw a cartoon at maybe about this big, or I draw mine a little smaller now. But they found that when they put in all the wrinkles that he has, it's kind of hard to see this from here.
What I'm waiting for, Pete, to draw a self-portrait of you.
when they put in all the wrinkles, and then they reduced the cartoon down, make it small enough to put into the newspaper.
All you saw was wrinkles.
Right, it would blacken in the face. You just have this little black head with a little pompadour on it. So there were all kinds of problems with that.
I can see that. I can see that all along the line.
But this is, again, of course, these are very quick. These aren't, you know, if I sit down at my drawing table, I do a much better job.
Please don't deprecate yourself so much. You're doing great. You underrate that. What do cartoonists look for when they pick out a face to caricaturize?
Well, like I say, just any outstanding characteristic. And a caricature, my definition of a caricature is a drawing which makes a politician look as foolish as he or she actually is. I think that about sums up
beautifully.
What a caricature.
We'll get the argument from me. No, but that's very nice. And of course, when someone comes along and doesn't have any outstanding characteristics, right away the cartoonists run into problems. Is that the idea?
That's right. I had some problems with Gary Hart at first, just at first, because he is a pretty handsome-looking guy. You know, not a movie star like Ronnie, but today I came up with. I'm gonna have to use a cheat note here because I haven't committed this to memory yet, but just to show you how I will do Gary Hart as the weeks ensue and the campaign goes on.
Of course, as people get to see him more and more, certain characteristics undoubtedly will show up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, specifics will stand out.
The things I'm noticing about him right now is he has this kind of dippy, vacant look in his eyes. If you really look at his eyes, they're right up against his eyebrows. It's sort of like he's always, you know, kind
looking up at
yeah,
you?
I can't.
Okay.
Kind of like that, but it's more like he's looking up at something, and you don't really know what.
Well, how can a cartoonist draw someone and be flattering? I mean,
well, that's not the idea, but
no, I understand that. I understand that perfectly. But how do you go about drawing a cartoon so it
you
is?
just don't.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. Let's solve that problem nicely.
Well, not a political cartoonist anyway.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just wondering, you know, what one did to make this lines a little softer and things like that. So you don't
he has
come out
this
looking
kind of drawn back mouth, which I think he's doing as part of his Kennedy impersonation.
I see. That is Kennedy impersonation. Okay. All right.
And then, of course, the hair. I almost didn't leave enough room. He does have about as much hair as Ronald Reagan, which is quite a bit.
Oh, yes, I see that. Yes, yes, that's a good one.
Darken it in here a little.
Oh, yes.
Now,
Certainly is.
of course, this isn't dark enough to really bring it across, but you get the idea. And we put some in the back here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has a few, his hairs kind of stick out. He always has a few kind of out of place like that. So, and he also has these little kind of round, cheeky things like Ronnie. It's really interesting, you know, that people put so much importance, that voters, American voters, put so much importance on the personality and the appearance of a candidate, and not as much really on the, you know, political content or the issues that they stand for, which in a way makes some sense, I suppose.
Well, I really don't think that the real issues of whatever the campaign are really seriously considered. I think people do on the peripheral surface of whatever how they vote for the person, how he comes through, how he says things, how he handles a tough question, does he handle it well. I don't think they really listen too carefully to what's going on, what's happening.
Evidently not.
I don't think they really do.
We'd have different candidates.
Well, are cartoonists in general apolitical?
I think in order to be a professional about cartooning, you have to be not apolitical, maybe anti-political.
I see, okay.
You have to understand that there's always an element of BS, you know, to any kind of academization of life.
Yeah, right.
And when you take a strictly political view, that's what you're doing. You're taking a very specialized academic perspective, and you're trying to transpose it on reality. And reality always exceeds the boundaries of any you know, kind of party viewpoint or you know, strict you know,
whatever's involved.
One-dimensional.
Do cartoonists ever feel they're in competition with each other? Do they feel a competitive urge to do?
It's interesting. I don't see much of that. It seems that especially editorial cartoonists are very buddy-buddy. You know?
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's there are only about 200-300 in the country, and you know, they feel like they're in a special little group, and they're very lucky to be where they are. And
I think they are.
I think so too.
I would like to be in a position to express my point of view and get my point across. I think it'd be really great. It'd be terrific.
It's fun. It's hard to do. You know, that's what distinguishes a professional cartoonist from someone who just can come up with one. Anybody can do a good cartoon once in a while.
I hope that all the people will decide to buy your book, as you call it. Buy this book, right? Buy this book. Buy this book. I think, well, now that you've seen Pete on TV, I hope you run down to your local V. Dalton store and buy his book. And if you ever want any cartooning done, I'm sure Pete will be more than glad to do it, or contact me, and I'll get a slight 10% commission, if that's the way it goes. This is your host, Russ Christensen, for the Economy Corner.
Friends, I don't mean to alarm you, but I have received a message from him, and he has told me that if I do not sell 1,000 copies of my new book, Buy This Too, that he will call me home. Friends, I don't want to have to go back to Milwaukee. Please, buy this too.